Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Zin's Elsword Newscast, name still pending. I'm your host, Zin, and this is my partner, Zibble, here to bring you the latest but maybe not greatest news for Elsword.
Hey everyone, I'm here because Zin has a father of four voice.
Our plan is to go over North American and Korean news related to updates for the game and community. Less of the community for Korea, though, because I'm not actually Korean.
And I'll be adding helpful bits because Zin is nerdy and might say things that don't make sense to casual players.
Just as a heads up, I write up the whole script, so there's no way I'm going to be offended by anything Zibble says. If I did, it probably wouldn't make it out of production.
Same goes for me.
So this whole thing is planned to happen every week, but most likely due to life schedules, it'll only happen during weeks with big content being announced.
During the weeks that big content is released, Zin and I will probably be on his stream doing said content, or he'll be making videos about them while I help with the art assets.
Overall, expect to see updates and stuff related to Elsword with some fun little tidbits here and there.
If Zin slacks off, I got you guys. I'm here for the people.
Okay, so let's kick things off with the Henir Rotation for this week. Challenge mode, of course. Will you do the honors, Zibble?
Starting off, we have Skin Splitter, one of the easier bosses. Just hit him till he dies.
Next up, we have the Hammer Elites. Be sure to remove your headhunter and remember that the machine guy isn't attackable for a few seconds. And I say machine guy because I forgot his name already.
Third is the Chaos Leviathan. Large whale for big bossing classes to rejoice for.
The next two you need to be careful of, because they both need a water orb to clear fast. Fourth is Scar, followed by Ultrarasia and fifth. I recommend saving your water orb for Ultrarasia if you're speedrunning, and using Fog of Death to speed up Scar's death animation.
As always, Obazar is the last one, and that's all we have. Did you know that Raven has a BMI of 29.3? This makes him canonically overweight, almost obese. This is not even including his Nasat arm, so you can expect him to be a real beefcake in person.
I bet most Raven players share similar compositions, but without muscle as a reason. Anyways, in the community section, we'll go over anything good and bad going on in the community. Of course, we're not going to try to start drama or anything like that, so for the most part, we're going to keep things positive.
This week, there isn't much since it's the first one, and it's a bit rushed because Zin can't write scripts fast enough. But, in good news, it seems like some players are hopeful for the future of the game for reasons that we'll get to later.
So, gameplay updates. This week we got a pre-patch notice about the market changes coming next week, and the most important things to take away here are that the max prices on board that you can list for are now going up to 10 billion ED, and the regular tax for anyone who doesn't use sales VIP goes down to 5%.
However, every market update is controversial, and this one is no different. Personal trades and sales VIP users will be taxed 3%. The reasoning? Market manipulation.
Is that really the right way of going about things? Let us know what you think.
Other than that preparation, Noah now has his Red Millennium Fox Ice Burner available. Do people still like old IBs?
Forget old IBs, this is Agent Gnosis last week. Next week we'll be getting Apostolos, an ice burner that's considered to be as strong as, if not stronger than, Aurora Mustica. Be sure to get yours while supplies last.
For all my divas and fashion mains out there, the Joy Juck motion is also available as of this week.
Now for Korea. Let's talk about the Korean updates. We got a balance patch, which we'll get into soon, but more importantly, we have an impactful update on Polarize and adaptation to stats.
In preparation for a new region and raid, both stats will have their cap increased from 45% to 55%. This means you can now have up to 55% damage dealt and received, and also reduce 55% of the Demon Realm debuff. Ignore defense may be a thing of the past now.
Can you imagine what Roaster Raid and other dungeons will feel like with more adapt than the even debuff? Well, I already have the answer to that, and the answer is that having more than debuff applying makes it useless. If you have 55% and run Roaster Raid, which has a debuff of 50%, you can only negate 50%. The extra 5% doesn't convert to anything.
Now let's talk about classes and characters. The main goal of this update was to start making every class viable in a raid setting, rather than having core supports and damage dealers. You can decide if it was accomplished or not.
The translated Korean notes say that they aim to lower the utility of exceptionally strong supports, Celestia, and in turn help individual classes that do not support with damage, as well as giving small buffs to the weaker support classes, and we're talking hybrid support classes, such as Revenant, of course.
Keep in mind that we just follow Korea's lead. They bounce around their region, not ours. That being said, let's look at some highlights.
Rune Master's underlying utility is getting decreased, meaning that he's going to have less buffing and debuffing effectiveness, while Immortal gets slight increases to his own DPS.
Daybreaker gets a free 15% bonus damage to bosses buff, and Code Ultimate and Sariel receive adjustments to help streamline their damage. Antithese gets another set of nerfs across the board. Has she fallen from her physical throne yet?
Thanks for saving Raven for me, by the way. Starting off, Nova Imperator receives some adjustments, making his mercenary survival strategy a timed buff rather than permanent. This is good despite it seeming wrong, because healers are often in parties and makes it so that NI players can now use MP and HP pots instead of just MP and still be able to retain their buffs. His Resurrection also grants him a full HP bar instantly rather than giving it back over time. Revenant players have been eating very well every patch, myself included, and this is no different. Catacomb stacks now fall off 3 at a time rather than all at once, and his cooldown reduction orbs now give -7 seconds per orb rather than -5. Also, for all my DPS Revenants out there, you no longer need to position for invasion as its damage has been standardized regardless of position.
Wow, bias much towards Raven? Anyways, Comet Crusaders, enjoy all of your DPS buffs. Now all 3 of you DPS CC mains can become better at it. Support Centurion players go back to Mod Tactical Field. Your regular one no longer provides free damage. Shakti players enjoy some small buffs, and Elysis players enjoy some free goodies.
For all my support Doombringers out there using Mod EMP, you'll be sad to hear that the cooldown reduction of it does not apply to itself anymore. Eternity Winners will lose some damage, and Radiant Soul's Freeze is now much easier to work with as it freezes on the first hit.
Finally, Liberators will be happy to know they get some CDA back, while Celestias lose some damage and lose utility on some of Natal Chart. Full patch notes are in the description below.
We can tell all this is in preparation for the new raid coming in August 4th. We're all excited to see as it's planned to be against Rand himself and as an 8-man raid split into 2 parties of 4, rather than a 6-man raid that we've been used to for a while now.
The new raid will bring a new weapon and new Mystic Stones that are stronger than the previous. The weapon will also be on a pity system, meaning you are guaranteed a drop when the gauge is full. We hope to see the mechanics of this raid allow for hybrid and less standardized parties, letting it be accessible to anyone with the correct knowledge and stats.
I predict a 95% or higher debuff with the 5 million plus combat power gate. Intimidating for sure.
Laby also got her 4th path announced, with the theme being mischievous. Many speculate this to be a demonish class, but who knows?
On top of that, everyone will be getting a free +10 Flames of Judgment weapon, Mystic Stones, and 100 Sage Stones. Also expect another Punchmaster event as well as a 2nd season pass.
Most titles will become account-wide. No more farming Guardian of Elrenode on 8 characters finally. You can also get ready to bank share Amethystine Prophecy equipment, Master Road accessories, and the Spectral Amethyst for free. Shared banks will now be unlocked by default, so no more paywall.
So now on to our Q&A session and suggestions. So why did we start this? I wanted to create a way for players not in large Discord/news areas to be able to see upcoming things in a much more digestible and simpler fashion. I think it's important that everyone in MMO has access to the same information as easily as everyone else. So where was I though? Penguin Heist, Fire Emblem 3 Hopes, working, researching. I was busy and taking a break from the game like I do every summer to prepare for my next year of studies. I'm happy to say this channel will be branching a bit more and I will still continue to make Elsword content as time progresses.
I'm Zin's wifey. He asked me to join him and I happily agreed. The more time spent together, the better it is for us in general.
And that's all we have for this week, folks. Stay tuned for more news and we hope to see you again on this channel sometime in the near future.
Bye bye everyone! Be sure to leave your questions and feedback in the comments below.
Our plan is to go over North America and Korean news related to update. Okay, I need to retake that.
For this week, there isn't much since it's the first one, and it's a bit rushed.
It's okay.
Better restart that.
Go ahead. Forget old IBs. This is Agent Noose's last week. Next week we'll be getting apostle. I don't even know how to say this one. I'm gonna start over. How do you say that?
Apostolos.
Apasta.
Yeah, sure, pasta.
Forget old IBs. This is Agent Noose. Is it Noose?
Yeah, Agent Noose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Forget old IBs. This is Agent Nooses. Nuances.
Most titles will become account-wide. No more farming Guardian of Elrenode on 8 characters, finally. You can also get ready to bankshare Amethystine Prophecy equipment, Master Road accessories, and the Spectral Amethyst. Okay. Restart.
Yeah, it's okay.
Most titles will become account-wide. No more farming Guardian of Elrenode on 8 characters, finally. You can also get ready for bank...
It's okay.
Okay, give me a sec.
Yeah.